Hello everyone and welcome to the another lesson of Python programming for beginners. So let's start with first of all we will create a file. So let's call it typecasting.py. So we'll call it typecasting.py. So first of all we should understand what exactly typecasting is. Okay, or so what do you mean by typecasting? Okay, so when we say typecasting, it is basically forceful conversion. Okay, forceful conversion of one data type into another. Okay, so forceful data means, so whenever we say forceful conversion of one data type into another, so that is basically typecasting. So why do we need typecasting? And also a lot of time what happens is we need to convert from one data type to another, okay, as per the requirement, if we require some things, okay, and then we do that. So let's see a small example for that. So we will see a small example. Let's say I'll say a equals 1, then I'll say b equals, let's say 2.5, and we will say c. Now this is I'll say a string. Okay, so let's say 3. Okay, so and let's print the original values. Now let's print the original values. So here what I'll do is I'll say, let's say print a, then print value of b, and let's say print the value of c. So here we are printing the original values. Now here we are simply printing the original value of a, b and c. Okay, now let's try to convert the value of, let's say each and every variable, so that we can use that. So here if we say c is string, okay, c is string, it's an we see that, okay, 3 is a number, we have passed in c, okay, but it is passed in quotes. Okay, so that means it's a string. So let's convert this c into an integer. So to do that, let's declare d, and I'll say, okay, I have to convert that. So I'll call an integer function. Now an integer function we will pass c. So this will basically convert this. Okay, so this will so this will convert, okay, the c into integer. Okay, this will convert into integer. Okay, so okay, so it will work like that. So this will typecast, or we will say convert into integer. So let's print the value of d. Okay, so if I print d, now we can print the value of d. Okay, let's try to check. Okay, let's check whether it is converted or not, because if we remember, as of last thing we have seen, so plus operator, so if both the value are of not same time, it will not work. Okay, so let's call it e, and we will print the value, or we will just try to perform the addition of, let's say 1, let's say a plus d. So that is 1 plus it's gonna be 4. Okay, it's gonna be 4. Okay, so it's gonna be 4. Now let's print e. So let's just to check whether it is working fine or not. Okay, so let's try to do that. Okay, so as of now we'll just give it a try, and we will run this piece of code so that we can just check whether it's working fine or not. Okay, so let's call it python then typecasting.py. Okay, so you can see that the value of a is 1, b is 2.5, c is 3, that is string, but it will print. Okay, so d is now again 3. Okay, and the addition is performed, we are getting 1 plus 3, that is 4. Okay, that means it's working exactly fine. That means it's working exactly fine. And here the c is converted into integer, and we pass that into d. That's why it's performing that addition, otherwise we would have got the error. Okay, so let's try and convert some other values as well. Let's see how we can convert the other values. Okay, so let's check. Let me call it f. Let's say f equals to let's say integer of b. So if I say integer of b, okay, this is basically the b. If I say this is the float value, this is the float value. Okay, the b is float value. Okay, and if I say integer of b, okay, so here it will convert float value into, let's say, integer. We will get okay, or let's say like this. Okay, so we will get 2 instead of let's say instead of okay, 2.5, so it will leave the decimal point, okay, because we are converting that into integer, and when we say integer is basically a whole number, okay, so it will leave the decimal point. Okay, let's try and check, okay, what we are getting in f. Let's say f, so let's convert that. Okay, so we'll print the f. Okay, so we have converted that. Now we will print the f and we'll check what we will get. Okay, so we should get the other two only instead of 2.5. so let's run this piece of code again. So let's try. So here, if you can see, now we are getting 2. Okay, in the end last is 2 instead of 2.5. okay, so that's how we can get the thing. Okay, let's try a few more. Okay, so what if we want to convert, let's say, let me call it first, let's say g equals to, what if I convert it into float? If I convert any value into float, let's convert sorry, a into float. So a is equals to 1, so it's an integer. If I convert that into float, okay, what will happen? Okay, so it will, let's say, convert int into float. Okay, it will convert int into float now. Okay, so what if I print that? Let's say print g. So if we print the value of g, what we will get? Okay, so let's try that again. Let's run it again. Now we are getting 1.0, so a decimal point is added, okay, to this, and now that and we can understand that, okay, that is converted, means the integer is converted into float. Let's call it first h, and let's say, what if I want to convert a number into string? Okay, so here if you see, we convert that str. Okay, let's say string into number. Here we converted string into number. Okay, but what if I want to convert a number into string? So I can use str function here, and let's pass the value. Let's say I'll pass the variable a. So if I pass a, this 1 is now converted into a string. Okay, that 1 is converted into a string. And if I say, let's say I equals, let's say c plus h, c plus h. Okay, and let's print that. So we will it will get concatenate. Now it will concat. Okay, so here if you see, it performed addition. Okay, performs addition. Okay, it performed addition. But here if we talk about this particular line, okay, performs concatenation. Okay, so it performs concatenation. Let's check that now. So we'll print it. Let's say print the I. Okay, so we'll print I, and let's see what output we get. Okay, so let me try that again. So here if you see, it has performed the concatenation. It won't be 3 plus 4. 3 plus 1 is 4. Okay, so it won't be 3 plus 1 because both are string. Since both are string, it will perform the concatenation. Okay, so it's like 31 it's showing. Okay, but it performed the concatenation. So hope we have understood that how we can perform the typecasting and how we can do that. Okay, this we can do with a lot of different purposes. Okay, let me show you one more stuff for an example. Let's say if you want to print some value. Okay, let's say I want to print it like this. Let's say I want to print a equals to value of a. So instead of plus a, I cannot directly write a, because now this a is, let's say, string, and this is the string, and here we have integer. Okay, so this will throw me an error. Okay, so if I do it right now, if I execute it right now, see it's showing an error. Okay, can only concatenate let's say string, not integer, to string. Okay, so that's why we get the error. Okay, so we will get the error here. But what we will say is, we can convert that a. So I'll do it like this. Let's say I'll convert it like this. So we call the string function here. We will typecast this. And now if I run this again, it will run it properly. It will run properly. So you can see that now a equals to 1. Okay, so this is again we can use. So these are some use cases where we can go and use this. Okay, so this is where we used it. Okay, so we may require it at so many places, and that is why it is again required. So that was one of the important topic, typecasting. Hope you have understood this and there's no doubt with this. See you in the next lesson.